The governor is certainly a good speaker, and his presentation was a good presentation. We all know that we're in a $10 billion deficit. We know that there's going to have to be cuts, and now we have to take a look at what this 1,000-plus page document means. We have to really consider carefully how it's going to affect the people in my district in the 122nd. I'm interested in looking at the agricultural cuts. My understanding is, and I don't know the details exactly, but my understanding is there's going to be a pool of money that the Department of Agriculture is going to have, and they're going to be in charge of divvying up where that money goes. How much that really is, I've heard it might be 1.2 million. If that's the case, that's a major cut in the agricultural department. So that's a concern to me because, for every dollar we invest in agriculture, we get 7 back. So in my district, I'm concerned about that.
Right at this point in time, we've looked at what the governor has proposed, basically from the 30,000-foot level. We've not gotten down into the details to determine just exactly what impact the governor's budget is going to have on our department.
Well, one area that I am concerned about is how this is going to affect my local school districts. We rely more heavily on state aid, and even a small cut disproportionately affects poor rural school districts. So that's really going to be a difficult, the most difficult part, I think, of this budget. It's clearly a budget that focuses not only on this year, but on the years to come, which is very important. And it's looking at the issues we have with Medicaid. And I loved his example that he looked at the home care, and that's, I term it as long-term care in the Medicaid system. Long-term care, things like home care and nursing home care, those are the biggest drivers of what our Medicaid budget is. And it's only going to get more of a driver as more and more people need that type of care. And for him to be focusing on that and trying to reform the system so that we can be prepared for more and more people to retire and then ultimately need long-term care is absolutely the direction the state needs to be moving in.
A little concerned about the prison closures. I think it's a great idea that there's a task force there to actually look at the efficiencies and cost savings. But at the same time, I'm concerned that it's either an all or nothing proposal, and the legislature's authority is kind of taken out of to make the choice. I think pretty much everything he said is what myself and the Senate Republican majority has said over the last year. It's all about jobs, cutting taxes, and cutting spending, and that's pretty much what we heard tonight.
We have said we want no new taxes and we cannot increase spending. So he accomplished that. I think we have to embrace that today and now look at the details. Sure, these cuts are going to be painful, but everybody has been warned and told to prepare. And I think he articulated a number of scenarios that many of these different segments that are affected or impacted by the budget could take into consideration.